Hello everyone, this is R.S. Miller at the endtimenews.org and today is April 1st, 2014. This is your Fast Track Report. Militants in Syria prepare chemical weapons attack in Damascus, according to RT.com. Armed gangs in Syria are conspiring to stage a chemical weapons attack in Damascus suburbs in order to lay blame on the Bashar Assad's government, Syria's UN ambassador Bashar Jafari has warned the Security Council. Competent Syrian authorities intercepted a wireless communication between two terrorists in Jabbar area of Damascus governorate, Jafari said in a letter addressed to Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and the Security Council. The letter was published on Tuesday on the UN website. In that communication, the diplomat said one of the terrorists said that another terrorist named Abu Nadir was covertly distributing gas masks. The Syrian security services, Jafari said, also intercepted another communication between militants, one of whom was called Abu Jihad. During that conversation, the latter indicated that toxic gas would be used and asked those who are working with him to supply protective masks. Back in March, Jafari informed the Security Council that a person named Haitham Salahuddin Qasab transported chemical substances from Turkey on behalf of the terrorist organization known as Ara al-Sham. He allegedly purchased the chemical agents from Turkey's Dawa Import and Export Company. The substances reportedly included, among others, white phosphorus and isopropyl hydroxylamine. It's alleged that Jafari said that militants planned to use them to produce white smoke in certain areas and later claimed that Syrian planes had bombed them. However, the primary reason for requesting those substances was to use them as chemical weapons, the Syrian diplomat warned. The information in the previous letter, along with new details obtained from the intercepted communications, confirmed that armed terrorist groups are preparing to use toxic gas in the Jabbar quarter and other areas in order to accuse the Syrian government of having committed such an act of terrorism, Jafari said. Meanwhile, the Ukraine crisis is anything but resolved. Russia has warned Ukraine against integration with NATO as Kiev approves a series of drills with the Western military alliance. The Russian Foreign Ministry has warned Tuesday that Kiev's previous attempts to move closer to NATO has strained ties with Moscow, as well as the relationship between Russia and the Defense Alliance. Past attempts led to a freezing of Russian-Ukrainian political contacts, a headache between NATO and Russia, and to a division of Ukraine's society, the Russian Foreign Ministry said in a statement. The Kremlin seeks a neutrality clause in Ukraine's constitution to prevent it from joining NATO. Meanwhile, Ukraine's parliament approved a series of joint drills with the Western military alliance, including 2 sets of joint exercises with the United States this summer. Friends, even when it begins to appear that things are settling down and perhaps there's a chance that mankind will learn to live in peace with each other, don't allow yourselves to be deceived. The entire world is inevitably stumbling towards total annihilation, that is, unless the Lord himself intercedes. The evil in the hearts of man has been evident throughout all of human history, and there's not been any miraculous change in basic human nature. Idealistically, a utopian society would be quite nice, one where all peoples of the world accept each other for who they are, for the values that they hold dear, a live and let live attitude. However, we don't live in an idealistic world. Instead, it's a dog-eat-dog type of existence sprinkled with the appearance of compassion and mercy. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who truly have these desirable qualities, but it is becoming quite rare. In Matthew 24, the The Bible tells us that because iniquity will abound, the love of many will grow cold. This scripture seems to be self-evident in the daily news, and more so with each successive generation. It is also an indication of how close we are to the last days. Another indication is this. In Matthew 24:14, Jesus says, "And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." Has the gospel been preached in all the world to all nations? Remember, it's not talking about every individual, but instead to every nation. Well, in my opinion, the gospel either has been preached everywhere, or it will soon be. Are you saved? Follow the link in the box below and pray the prayer of salvation with a sincere heart, and you will be saved. May God bless you and yours.